Well, hello everybody. It's Leanne Greff with today's live video. Every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Central Time, I host a free class. Let me get my laptop synced up so I can welcome and see everybody who's joining. Okay, I think I'm there. Whoops, better mute it so I don't have any double talk here. Okay, as you can see, I have our in color products here. Now, why do I have those here? It's because these are free in your starter kit in May. So there is just, oh gosh, what, 4 days left? 3 days left? 28, 29, 30, 31. So yeah, just a few days left to get this deal. It's quite the awesome deal, and we've had quite a few join our team already this month. So in addition to $125 on products of your choice from either the printed catalog or the online store, you can pick $125 of your choice plus get all of this for just $99 plus tax. Shipping is free. So it's even a bigger savings. So if you haven't considered this, I would strongly advise you to do that. You know, there are, it's just a wonderful, I can't say enough about being a part of Stampin' Up. We have an awesome group. We have a ton of interaction in our Facebook group, and we do challenges. And anyway, swaps are optional. We have prizes. It's just fun. But these are what you get. You get all 5 ink pads. You get all 5 Stampin' Write markers. You get, I think it's 4 sheets of each of the new in colors in 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and then you get a pack of the new designer paper in 6 by 6. So all of that plus your $125 is over $207 in products for $99. So plus just tax. It's quite the deal, honestly. It's quite the deal. So I hope you consider it, and I will put a link in the description of the video where you can join my team. And basically it's just another order. It's not a commitment. You do not have to sell. You don't have to hold classes. You can just enjoy the discount. So, and all your new products. So it's just a fun time to be a part of Stampin' Up. I have many people who wish, who kept saying, no, I don't want to. And then once they do, they're like, oh, why didn't I do this earlier? They just love it. So anyway, this is the deal for just a few more days, and then it's over. So I hope you consider it. Send me a message. Excuse me, wow. So a big frog in my throat. Anyway, send me a message if you have any questions. Basically, let's see, this end of this quarter is June, so July, August, September. You don't have to meet your next minimum until September. And all orders up until September go towards that minimum. So if you place $300 between May and September, you're basically qualified for another whole quarter. So that's how it works. And the nice thing is okay, your 20% discount, so say you place a $100 order, it counts as a $100 order, but you're only paying $80 because of 20% off. So it's quite the deal. It's, yeah, so to meet your minimums, you have to spend basically 3 orders of $80, and you've got it. Add in maybe a couple Paper Pumpkin customers, and that's even less that you're gonna pay. So, and then maybe you get an order from a friend or two now and then to help you. It's awesome. It's so fun. So I hope you consider joining Stampin' Up. Yeah, and my team especially. Okay, I do have news of another special in June. So they just announced today that all Stamp and Die bundles, now that's a bundle, not an Encore product that was a stamp and a die separate, but ones that are labeled bundles, you get an extra 10% off in June. Now that starts June 5th through the 30th. So that includes bundles that are online, because this is the Zinnia one that they have in the graphic here. So all bundles are basically 20% off in June, and they're also adding a 10% off the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine and the mini machine. So it's a good time to get these bundles as well. And this will also be part of their starter kit. You can get 20% off the bundles if you put them in your starter kit as well. So yeah, some great deals. All right, before we get into the prize patrol, here is the inventory status report. There is a lot of items on here, but all of these are gems and ribbons. So they just are really running low on some of those gems and ribbons. There's just two designer papers, Country Woods and Unbound Beauty. Those are out of stock for just a few more weeks. We have some embossing powders and the brick embossing folder. So not too bad, except for all of these gems. But yeah, May and middle of June, there's only one that's July. So not too bad. So hopefully that won't get worse by next week when I see you next. Okay, all right. So last week's prizes were a set of the pastel adhesive back sequins and a package, a full package, I believe, of the Bright designer paper from this last catalog. So who were the winners of that? And I don't know if they're on yet. But we have Laura Gregg and Paula Schmidt. So Laura won the gems and Paula won the designer paper. So congratulations and thank you so much for commenting and sharing on my video last week. So I'll be sending these. I have to find Laura's address, but I have Paula's. So this week's prize for commenting is a set of festive pearls. I love these. These retired this last year, and they are such nice tiny pearls. There's some, I think, cherry cobblers underneath the label up here. And then for, let's see, sharing one of my glue stands. This is one of, oh, I didn't bring my adhesives over here. Hold on a minute. Knew I'd forget something. So the glue stands hold our Tombow or multi-purpose liquid glue. And what's nice about them is it holds the glue to the, when you keep it vertical like this, the glue stays at the tip and you don't have to continually shake it because every time you lay it down, the glue settles in the bottom. But this way, and I even work with it, I set my cap away and I work with it just like this. Now I have a friend who puts a little piece of paper down there with a mini glue dot so the glue doesn't leak out onto this, but I don't find that terribly necessary. You can see mine is very well loved with a little bit of glue and fingerprinting on here, but this is many years old. So anyway, you'll get a brand new one and not a used one. If you share this video with some friends, let me know that you shared it, and this is for commenting on this video. So that's the prizes this time. Oh, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Well, you know, I do want to mention that if you aren't following me on my blog, you are missing quite a bit because I share my project sheets there every week. Every time I do a video, I have a free project sheet. Last week I shared my tabs, how I put the tabs and where on my catalogs. Man, it's so easy to find things. Just go to ribbon, maybe embossing folders. I also like the adhesive and of course the sweets, and then gems. Gems is another popular one for me. So yeah, that is on there, as well as quite a few other things I've been sharing lately. So that's my blog. On the right hand side, there's a little area that says get email updates. That's where you want to sign up with your email, and you'll get my blog posts. Monday through Friday is when I usually post. Okay, good morning, everybody. Thank you so much. Yeah, I know. Yeah, thank you, Barb. I know I'll get a lot of comments and compliments on my glue holders. My husband makes these with our 3D printer. So I have many colors, and those are at my flowerbugshop.com, which is where my kits are. By the way, my kits were sent out this weekend, so my May kits to go. I haven't started. I have ideas. That's my job this week, is to work on June's kits to go. So had a very relaxing weekend. I have to tell you, I tried to take Saturday off? Yeah, Saturday off from not even stepping foot in my studio, basically, not sitting down at the computer, not sitting down and craft. And I made it all the way until 5 o'clock. And then I'm like, I don't know what else to do. I gardened in the morning. I read a little bit. I made a dessert to share with some neighbors. And then I'm like, what now? And so I played and made a bunch of cards, and I'll be posting those. But I played just for me. Well, actually, I didn't. I made thank you cards because I needed them. But I grabbed a bunch of things that were like extras, and I embossed some layers, and I used all the little labels that were already cut out, and I'll share that with you this week, later this week, what I did. But it was fun. Sometimes you just want to use up what's sitting on your desk and make some cards. So that's what I did, but I could not stay away. And then yesterday I tried it again, and I made it, I think, until after supper. And then I'm like, I have to get ready for live, so I had to make a card. And so anyway, I love what I do. I can't quite stay away even a whole day. So when I go to my daughter's in Fargo, I take the whole weekend off. Obviously, I'm away. But when I'm home, my studio is right off my kitchen and dining room. So it is so handy, and it's like, oh, let me go see what my email is. Let's just see let me clean up my desk. Oh, I'm always doing something, but that's the nature. I love to keep busy, and that's just who I am. So it works out really well for what I do. All right, today we're gonna play with Under the Moon. You know what? I just realized on my list, I have to mention one more thing. Our annual Stampin' Rummage sale is June 15th. So that is here in my studio or at my home in Minot, North Dakota. And we have about 30 people who sell their excess products. So if you are anywhere in North Dakota or nearby, the deals are incredible. People flock to the sale and love it. So the prices are actually pretty ridiculous. So if you love a good deal, I would come to that rummage sale. Now, June 14th is our early bird sale, and that's for people who have ordered from me in the last 6 months, so they get to shop early. But June 15th is for the rest of the city and for people who are not my customers. It's from 9 to 2 in Minot. Just message me for the address if you plan to come, if you've never been here. A lot of people come every year and say, when's your sale? When's your sale? I don't want to be on vacation. Okay, all right, getting to our projects. So I did use this for my card club this in May, but I'm not going to share that card first. That's going to be my second card. I'm going to share the one I just made last night. So for greetings, because this doesn't have any greetings, it is a scene builder, which is one of my favorite types of stamps, and it's also distinctive. So you can see the highs and lows, the dark and the low, the dark and the less dark. So this is how it stamps, and I'll show you that in a minute. But this bundle is also what I used for both projects, and it's my favorite, one of my favorites, I should say. So this set of dies has just a ton of greeting images and leaves and accents. So that is, and it goes with this beautiful greeting set. So those are the products I used today for both cards. Okay, so here is the card front. So you can see it's pretty in pink with a little navy, little bit of peach pie, and a little bit of smoky slate. This is one of the greetings and the die cuts. It's a Dutch door card, so it opens like that. You know, I'm like, well, I want to make this into a fun fold. How can I make this into a fun fold when I had such a nice large, and I didn't want to really like the usual fold over the front and just add it to the front. So I thought, well, I haven't made a Dutch door card in a long time. So I don't know if you can see, but I put some Wink of Stella on the water and it shimmers. So hard to see Wink in a camera, but it does. So let's make the card. Now I did create a project sheet, which will be posted next Monday or Tuesday. I usually post my projects from this week's live the following Monday, Tuesday, so then you can always count on them. So the project sheets have the supplies on the back, the measurements, the photos, and the instructions. So these are always seen here on my blog, flowerbug.net. Okay, So you can print out a whole bunch of those and have them in your arsenal of ideas. All right, let me get my pieces out here. So I will show you on this die, the one I used here is this one. So this actually cuts out, let me get a piece of cardstock here. Got something on there. So I decided that I didn't think that frame worked with this, so I didn't use this, but I'm saving it for another project. So we'll see what I come up with that one. But that is that die right here. It's a twofer. Okay, which a lot of these are. Some of these do like the outside and the inside at the same time. So you get a frame plus the inside. So very cool set of dies. All right, so here is the strip. And I put in there in my measurements, it's 8.5, but it might only be like 7, but it does not matter. Now, what you want to do is adhere this. This is just a standard flat, and because I have a little mar there, I'm going to use this side, and you'll see why. So add your adhesive. And when I do fun folds, I always use my liquid glue because it holds so well. It allows the pressure of a fun fold because you're using the mechanisms and the movement quite a bit. Okay, so we have 2 layers, one for the inside, one for the outside, and I believe this piece is smaller. Now, you can decide when you make a Dutch door fold to bring this piece all the way to the end. Either way, you're going to see a line, whether you see it here or whether you see it here. So I just used a scrap that I had and ended it here. If that bothers you, bring it all the way over, which would be 11 inches by 2 inches. So, but I'm like, well, you know, it's okay. It does not bother me. So we're going to cover up that little mar with this, and I will, I won't, of course, add my white layer until I stamp it. Always stamp before you adhere. But this one doesn't matter. Okay, now you notice these little skinny edges. I didn't have those on there in my original card, and I'm like, it needs a little something. And I had this little scrap sitting around on my desk, and I'm like, well, I think I'm just gonna try that, and I liked it. So here's what I did. Let me move that out of the way. So just add a little adhesive here. And I do this a lot with the scraps laying beside my paper trimmer. I'm like, well, sometimes just that little bit, and it does not show on the back, so, and it's going to be covered, so I don't have to cut a whole nother. Now this liquid glue does move, so I want to be sure it dries in the perfect position. Then you just trim it off and add some to the other side. Now I could go ahead and glue that whole thing on there, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just trim it. Sometimes just those scraps we have add that finishing touch. Oh, that didn't work. Don't do it that way. I'm just trying to see if it is even. Yep, it's not showing, not showing. So then I like to turn it over. I'm going to hold it in place because the liquid glue does have what I call a sliding time. Okay, so there we go. Now this piece will cover that up, and it covers up the inside. I definitely don't want that peeking. So now when we're adding this, we're just going to add adhesive to the lower part and make sure we're covering. And I'm just going to make it even on all sides. And that's the basis of our card fold. Now we get to do the fun stamping. We'll do the front, well, actually, no, I'm going to do the inside first. Okay. I hope I have all my pieces. It looks a little bit like maybe I'm missing a moon. Where would that be? I'm not missing this moon, but I think I'm missing the other one. I have to go look over on my desk. Okay, so what I'm doing here, and I'm going to change this up just a touch. I'm going to open up my pretty and pink ink as well. We're going to ink, in Peach Pie. Then I'm going to remove a little ink by just rubbing a peach sponge dauber. And we're going to add some pink to this and make it a multicolor moon. I did not do that in there, but I'm going to try this. Okay, and then we need to huff. I think I will do it kind of like that. Very cool, very cool. And I'm going to clean that for the next time I use it because you wouldn't want to ink that up. I'm just using my chamois here. By the way, on my chamois, the chamois comes full size and it would fit in this stamp case, which we do sell in the catalog, but I cut mine in half and then I can get 2 of one, especially for my classes. Then I can spread them out on my desk for people. Okay, so we're going to get our navy ink out, move these away. So I'm using stamps and I chose the Faith one for the front, and then this one, Faith is believing in a brighter tomorrow. We all have tough days, right? So yeah. All right, so there's the inside. Oh, I'll leave that open and just move it away. Okay, so there's our inside. I'll set that aside. I have to find my other moon. Okay, yeah, it was kind of hiding on my desk. All right, so for the front, we're going to ink this, let's see, water right here, in Azure Afternoon. And I haven't used that ink much, but it is perfect for the water. So ink that up and stamp pretty low on this, trying to make it even. Horizon line should be straight. So this is a perfect example of a distinctive stamp. See the highs and lows in the color? It's the same ink, but the upper part is not as dark as the lower part. So cool. I mean, Stampin' Up! Created this, and just super smart, super smart. Okay, now to do this moon. So one moon is flat for the horizon, and one is mostly full. Okay, so we're going to do a similar thing. I'm going to ink this up in Peach Pie. So now I'm going to remove, and sometimes I just like to rub some of that ink off, but I'm going to remove the lower half, and it gives me a nice line where I'm going to kind of tap off most of the peach. Then I'm going to ink directly in the Pretty in Pink, and then I'm going to finish up by daubing some more pink on there and just hitting as close as I can to that line. And if I go over, that's okay. All right, so now we're going to huff, because by the time I inked that pink up, this is dry. So that's what huffing does, is it re-moistens the ink that you did maybe a while ago. And the same with using markers. So if you're wondering how you could color this stamp with markers just as easy, in fact, that would have been maybe easier in hindsight, is to color the top with the peach and the bottom with the Pretty in Pink. So you choose how you want to do that, but markers work, but you still have to huff to re-moisten that ink. Basically like cleaning your glasses. Excuse me. Okay, there's our little two-toned moon. I just clean that in my chamois over there. So it's ready for the next card. Okay, so now we're going to have too many inks out here. Going to grab the Azure Afternoon and a blending brush, and we're going to blend blue ink. Now this is a dark ink, so I don't want much on there. So I'm just going to start off the paper and just kind of in a circular motion, add some hazy blue sky. I just don't want white for my sky. So ink it off a little bit and then just start going around. And I could mask it, but because this is so light in color, I don't feel I need to mask the stamped moon or even the water. So just very little ink. You can always add more, but the secret to a soft blend is to start off with very little, and that's plenty for me. Okay, now to do those clouds. Now this is a little tricky. You know what, before I do the clouds, I would like to do my greeting. You think I can find it? That's gonna be a little problem because I did not cut two. Oh, there it is, it's way over there. Okay, we're going to stamp that faith so I can close up this navy ink pad. One less possible accident, I should say. Okay, so I need to close up my peach pie and now open the smoky slate and the pretty in pink. All right, so we're going to ink kind of the upper part in smoky slate and then add, make sure I find my pink marker or sponge dauber, and add a little bit of pink to the bottom. And I just do a little bit of the clouds too. Huff on that, stamp, and I shouldn't have to clean it because I'm not going to get pink ink up there. Okay, and then again my pink dauber and add, oh, what is that little thing there? Something was on my ink pad. A little bit more pink, just that haze of a pretty cloud. Isn't that beautiful? Love the two-toneness of that. So that is the smoky slate. Now I also want to, well, before I add my dolphins, or before I add my Link of Stella, we're going to add the dolphins. So in the stamps that you get a sailboat and dolphins. So pretty cool. Okay. Right. And that scene is done. So put that away. Actually, I think I can close that up now. Okay, and there fits perfectly. My measurements will be on the project sheet, so you can get them there. But basically, you could put any size on this card front. I had the pink layer here was 2 inches high. So now on the under the greeting, I decided, even though I don't have azure twine, I thought the balmy blue worked pretty well. So that's what I did. I'm just doing a double bow. So you can see I've got 2 tails, even though pretend that's cut. It doesn't really matter. That's how I do it. Fold it over. Now you have a bunny head and 2 ears, right? Speaking of bunnies, we have a baby bunny in our yard. Well, we have mamas and probably daddies too, but I found this baby bunny that I startled when I was gardening. And so I started feeding him some dandelion greens, and then I took out some, what was it? Oh, I've had some kale from a meal we made, and I don't know what they eat. I looked it up and I heard they like dandelion greens. So, and then I gave him a little home with a bucket with a lid or a hole cut in it because it was raining a lot. And I thought, well, put a little washcloth in there because I've heard my neighbor said that they kick out the babies after they're so big and they're on their own. And we have cats in our yard. And I heard this little eat the other night, and I'm like, oh no. So I went out there and to check and tried to chase away anything that was going to eat it. Oh, life is hard for these animals, these wild animals. I have such a heart for them. But, okay, so where is that? Here we go. There is a mini glue dot. And I'm going to just adhere that to the corner. Let go of my finger. All right, and then dimensionals. Okay. I don't want to get it too close to the edge because it hangs over. It's kind of how I put it on there. So, No, I still think I like it here. Before I push it down all the way, make sure my dimensional doesn't show. Okay, there's the card, and we'll add the inside as well. Aren't the colors pretty? I love the contrast between the navy and these pastels. Navy to me is a kind of a neutral. You can use it for anything. So there's my card. What do you think? I think it's really, really pretty. Oh, Wink of Stella. That's great. So just some shimmer to that water, and it does kind of make the water just a hair darker as well when you do that. So really hard to see. If you need more, and I think I do, you just give it a little squeeze, and hopefully not too much where it comes pouring out, because that can happen too. But there's these little buttons that say push, not buttons, but little words embedded in there. So that's the first card. So that's pretty easy. A little bit complicated with the colors that I did, but love it, so pretty. Okay, next up is the one I did for Club, and that was a hit. Everybody loved it. So I cased it from a swap, but I changed it up a little bit. So here is the card that we made. Now this one does not have a two-colored moon, just a one-colored moon. And this is a birthday card, and they also had the option of making this one, the sympathy. I thought that was perfect for a sympathy card. So all of these greetings are still from the Amazing Unbounded Love, because it has many things that you make phrases together, and then plus some mean. These are smaller, as you can see. They're bigger than they are on the stamp set. So yeah, it's a wonderful, wonderful set. Okay, no jazz. My kitty. I got open ink pads here. My kitty just decided to join me. All right, next, let's play with this Club card. So the dimensions will be online on my blog on Monday or Tuesday, and that's where the free project sheet will be for this. Okay, so this is the deckled rectangle dies, and I added a little strip of Azure Afternoon underneath it. It can go, as you can see, one was lower and one was higher. One was where the greeting is, and one was kind of across where the water is. I think I almost like the greeting one first. Now this little die is one of the dies in that bundle, the Unbound Love bundle, right here. And it's a cute little, for tiny words or small words, that would work, but I thought that's kind of a fun shape. So I decided to use it as an accent. So I just asked my club gals to cut it in half and add it to their greeting below. Okay, let's get started with stamping. And, you know, I think I might do my words first and get them out of the way. So I'm going to do a sympathy, I believe. Fortunately, I need a few of those these days. Okay, and then the inside, I like this one. My heart goes out to you. As you can see, I always stamp off before I clean on my chamois, because just keeps my chamois a lot cleaner. All right, we'll do the inside first, and that's that partial moon that gets stamped in the peach pie. And I kind of like it where it's half over the words. I think that's really kind of cool. All right, and that's that. Now we're done with that. And we'll do the front. Okay, we start with the water. And my water stamp is right here. So you want to stamp a little bit below the halfway point, and you want to make sure that your horizon is as even as possible, because you don't want a crooked horizon. Okay, love that image. Okay, that's it for that ink. Now we'll get our flat moon in with peach pie. You could do gray if you don't want to do peach pie. That would be pretty as well. All right, and we're done with that ink. Slowly but surely closing up some of these inks. All right, next we're going to do some clouds. Now I'm going to use the other cloud. So in the first card, I used this cloud, and now I'm going to use this cloud. And why I chose Pool Party, good question. I'm going to stamp off just a little bit, make it very subtle. Okay, and then we want, I think lastly is the sailboat. And that's in navy. So many options with this stamp set. I knew immediately when I saw it, it was going to be mine. Okay, that's it for stamping. And once again, I'm going to wink my water. In person, it shows up quite a bit. It does not show up as well on camera. Okay, let's build our card. Let's add this layer to the bottom. Not all the way to the bottom. And then we will add our stamped layer. I don't think I forgot anything. Okay. Okay, so the tip with adding the greeting with those little half pieces that I created, I'm going to make sure this is centered. And I think this is the easiest way. So just add a little, and when I have little pieces, I hardly ever put glue on the little pieces. I add the glue where I want the little pieces, because then I'm not touching anything gluey that I'm going to get my fingers wet or sticky with. Just want to make sure it's good side up. Slip that in. And let me turn my card so I can straighten that. That's what I love about the glue, is there's this drying time that gives you a chance to make them straight before you press them down. Okay, so let's add the inside before we move on to the gems. Show you what I used, and then what, oops, oh, I think I can put my lid on now. You don't want to leave it open too long, because then you have it dry out, and you have to get a needle and whatnot. So that's what you do on that. And oh, and I did take my gems away. Okay, Andy, my husband just walked in. He's on the phone too. All right, these are the, what do they call, the champagne iridescent dots. And so, oops, a little hair stuck on there. So you just put a little dot here, and then take your pick tool and find the medium one. Press that on, push it where I want it to go, find another one that's face up. There we go. No, that's maybe a large one. There's so many sizes in here. There we go. Okay, and the glue dries clear. So there is our card. Now I did have another gem that I was using, but I packed those away, I guess, so I can't show you. But these are available, I believe, online. And I think they're in the catalog too, but on another page, in the shaker page. So now we have our two cards. Well, this is today's. I'll let that dry. And there are our cards with Under the Moon. So hopefully you like that. How many of you own the set or want the set now? After seeing this, maybe you want it even more. All right, so that's it for today. I will see you all next week on Tuesday, 11 a.m. Central Time. But yeah, Darlene, thanks for coming in late. But I hope you, the video will be posted both on my Facebook page and on my YouTube channel later today. So if you follow me on either one, you're going to catch it. YouTube, either one, Facebook page or YouTube, you can watch either one. So I guess I'm a little bit crooked here. All right, thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to comment and or share the video to be in on the door prize drawing. All right, thanks so much. Have a great week, everybody. Bye-bye.